Hello and welcome back to my walkthrough to Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back here on the Crash Bandicoot Sane Trilogy for PlayStation 4. In the last episode we did Warp Room 1, everything we could do at least in Warp Room 1. And aside from a sticky moment where I couldn't make 2 jumps in a row, everything seemed to go pretty well in that one. And now we are here in Warp Room 2. So just because the Warp Room itself is snowy does not mean the levels are. Snowbiz is, Air Crash is another swamp level like Hang 8. Bear It is our first polar bear level, and look how adorable Polar is. He's so cute. Oh, he's so cute. I love it. Crash Crush is another level where you get chased by a boulder, and the Eel Deal is our first sewer level. But the first thing that we can do is if you jump on Polar, which seems really mean, I'm not going to lie, but if you do it enough times, he's going to give you some lives. And you'll actually also get a trophy called a Helping Paw. And yeah, that was actually in the original game as well. I think it was if you belly flopped on Polar and, like, you know, everyone was like, promoting animal... No, I don't think. But anyway. So the first level we're actually going to do... So normally I do them in order because back in Crash 2, so in the PS1 version, they actually had level numbers. So Snowbiz was level 6, I think. I'm pretty sure they had level numbers. And so level 6, we had here level 6 to level 10. So normally I'd want to do them in numerical order for obvious reasons, but actually what we're going to do here is we're going to start off in Air Crash. So Air Crash is a really cool level. It has multiple things. It has our first question mark death route, which is a death route, as you can see, a perfect run up to a death platform makes it appear. So the only way we actually get to this platform is if we actually don't die up to the point where the platform exists. The second thing it has is it also has the secret exit, which actually allows us to get the red gem from Snow Go. And trying to do both of those is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, those fish used to sort of be spread over a lot. I feel like they used to be spread over a lot more, the sort of piranhas there. Anyway, so seeing as we haven't died yet, I might just go for the normal gem. So the gem route is, or the secret route, is done by jumping on these boxes to get over to that rather suspicious looking platform over there in the corner. And we'll certainly give that a go when we return to this level. But we have a lot more jet ski, and there are 102 boxes actually, which is a lot for a Crash 2 level. Oh, I always hated this bit, trying to narrowly get between all the nitros. And that is a load of bollocks, because I definitely made that. Anyway. So, obviously we have a sinking platform, we need to time our jumps. Lovely. And the death route should be just above us, I think. I remember this bonus. Oh, great. Even more of these jumps. I love these jumps. Hey! Hallelujah. Turns out I'm not terrible at Crash. He says as he's about to fall down. No. There we go. So there we go. We complete a nice simple bonus here on Air Crash. And now I see a lone box on the ground, which is not what I really want to see. Because these are jumps that I hate. But there we go. And there you can see the death route platform actually just ahead of us there. And there we go, so onto the death route we go. And the death route has completely a slight remix to the music, which I love so much. I think it's a great little touch. And there we go, we actually get another trophy for finding our first death route platform, being cheated death for the time being. Yes, indeed, for the time being, as that was a terribly timed jump. Thankfully our save point is actually there at the bonus, which is quite nice. So yeah, until we actually die before the death platform, the death platform will always be there, which is like really good. And if we die inside the death route, obviously we can still get back to it, which is nice. So let's hope that I can actually make a nice jump. Beautiful, there we go. Much better. So you can see that there's actually another platform over on the other side that we get from jumping off the hippo. Lovely. Jesus, I don't remember this being so full of nitros. So obviously you don't want to get sucked down the whirlpool. I'm sure you could tell that. So there we go. This is our secret gem route, and it allows us to grab a gem. Now, what we're actually going to do is... do we want to die now is the question. I think we do. So, like I said, we now actually have the gem for good. So that means we continue to have that gem even if we don't finish that gem, even if we don't have to do that death route again. And thankfully, because the only boxes down that death route are nitros, we don't need to worry about it until... as long as we manage to hit the the green exclamation point box at the end of the level. I forgot about this bit. So what we now have to do is we need to make some pretty precise slide jumps to get onto that platform there, and then to get over all the way over to the final box. Because obviously once you're interesting. Got to remember to keep going back for that. But yeah, no. So, because once you're on the jet ski, you cannot get off the jet ski until you reach the specific sort of docking points. And so we cannot actually go back to try and get these boxes until there. So, there we go. Everything is broken back here. We'll just make sure of that. Lovely. And now what we can do is we can take this route here. So we want to get as far ahead of those guys, ahead of those platforms there. I don't remember there being a nitro box there, but evidently there is. So be aware of the mine that's obviously just below you. They obviously want you to boost so that you actually boost into the mine. There we go, lovely. And that is 59 of 102. So we actually missed. Where is the green exclamation point box? I do not remember. I thought it was at the end of this section, but maybe I am wrong. Because those are nitro boxes. Do we need to go back a path? I don't actually remember. I am very confused. I always thought the green nitro box was at the end of this, but evidently... Oh no! Oh, I'm completely wrong. I shouldn't have died. Because there is actually a third route into this level. Wow, I completely forgot about that. So yeah, no, there's a third route into this level. So just like there is a route from Air Crash into Snow Go via a secret path, there is actually a path from another level into Air Crash, which then gives you those extra boxes and the green nitro box. You've then got to complete the rest of the level, break all of those other boxes in order to get it. So we didn't actually need to die there, unfortunately, because we had the crystal and we had that gem. So there, just to let you know. So anyway, we're going to go back into Air Crash once more. This is probably the busiest level of them all. There's so much going on. There's a secret route into it, there's a death platform, there's a secret route out of it, and there's, you know, there are 2 gems. It is a great little level, and it's full of stuff. So anyway, yes, we are now, I mean, we could technically probably do this with the clock. I doubt the clock allows you to do it, though, somehow. Because would that count as leaving the level and finishing the time trial? I don't know whether it would. It'd be interesting if it would. Because if it did, then that should be really easy. So anyway, now to try some box Okay, so it looks like we can't actually make that. I believe in the original, you used to be able to make that jump. There we go, lovely. So we get to the secret platform. This allows us to go to the secret warp room, and indeed we actually get a trophy for finding the secret route on this level, on Air Crash, called Jumping the Jetboard. And this will take us to the secret warp room, located... I guess it's sort of like the 6th warp room. I think it's actually located at the top of Cortex's castle from the first game, because you can actually see the other islands used to be able to see the other islands in the distance, but it looks like now they're sort of just blocked by these large clouds. So anyway, yes, you can see that we have Air Crash, a second way in, Snow Go, a second way in, Road to Ruin, a second way in, which is a level from the 3rd warp room, 2 new levels completely, Totally Bear and Totally Fly, and those are some of the most fun extra levels as well. They're really good fun, those levels. So here we go. So Snow Go, thankfully, because we already have the clear gem, we don't need to do any backtracking, which is nice, because it would be a pain to have to backtrack through the entirety of this level just to then get the gem route. Okay, so yeah. So we have these porcupine type enemies in the snow levels. Once they spot you, they will become angered, essentially. Oh, you're kidding me. This was never easy, so... So you can see when the penguins are spinning, if you actually spin them, you don't actually take them out. I love Crash's little wobble animation on the ice. That's really nice. So, thankfully we get an Acme. So we know that there can't be any boxes aside from Nitros down this path, because obviously we already have the clear gem from this level. I wonder how on earth you get those lives, but anyway. So in the original, once you had crashed into a wall, you always still maintained some of your original momentum in the direction you were currently heading. I'm not yet to see if it sort of controls exactly the same as it did last time. So anyway, we can go back up here to get our second Aku, and then we'll have to head over here to try and make these little jumps. I think we should be able to make that. Maybe not. Okay, so we'll try this again. Ah! Jumping from the ice is always annoying. Especially when you slide and you get loads of speed. Lovely, there we go. Pay attention to the bottom platform so you don't make any silly mistakes. Aim for the Aku, because surely the Aku's not going to betray us. And now we should just be able to run through all of this. Just be careful. Come on, there we go. Ah, oh well, it's all good. I do love the penguins, they are adorable. So now what we need to do is jump straight down the middle, and there you go. There is your red gem. Lovely. So we have our red gem from Snow Go, and now what we can do is we can just finish the rest of this level, much like we normally would. Like, we don't need to worry about the boxes or anything like that. It's satisfying to break them though, not gonna lie. Wait, why on earth did I get hit there? But so there we go. That is going to be Snow Go. The secret route done. Lovely. Cost us a few lives, but once we sort of got over that first little bit without the Akus, it became pretty simple. Got some, you know, some little tight platforming, but it's certainly not the worst secret path that we have to do along ice platforms. There is a far, far worse offender coming up in Warp Room 4. And that level is pretty much probably the hardest gem in the game, just because of the sheer amount of backtracking and just sort of everything you have to do just for it. But there we go, that is Snow Go done, and I think that is Warp Room 1 100% complete if we ignore relics. So that is everything from there. And if you're wondering why on earth would we have actually done that, well, the reason that we actually wanted to do that is because we actually want the red gem, because we want to get the red gem. We need the red gem to find the gem in Snowbiz, as the hint actually tells us there. So this is our second snow level. Nice that it's sort of linked to Snow Go, the other snow level, by, you know, the red gem. So here we go. We have a nice. I like how the start to this level is far. That start to that level always used to be a far more sort of imposing beginning to a level than the one to Snow Go. So I always used to feel a little load more trepidation just sort of seeing, oh, automatically we've got ice, we've got 2 enemies straight away. Yeah, these were obviously, you know, far more innocent days. I believe there was actually some TNT crates here that we actually blew up by knocking an enemy into them. So now, rather than the seals, we now have the adorable little penguins sliding down towards us. And they prove to be a pain, but there we go. We can make our first to the first platform, and here we actually get our formal introduction, as it were, in terms of from the levels to the hedgehogs, or the porcupines. So you can obviously hit them if you move fast enough, but usually that'll happen, and you'll make a silly mistake like that. But once they are obviously have their spines down, they are weak to, you know, every method of hurting an enemy. So jumping on them, spinning, sliding, everything. That made far more sense to do that. So there we go. There is the red gem path. And it's once more, I think, another set of... So as you can see, already we see some, you know, some boxes. And it's obvious that we would have needed to take this path in order to get all of the boxes, as we actually have 125, which seems like more than there would have been in the original, but I don't remember too many levels in the original game actually having over 100 boxes. So we have some boxes to smash. So the TNTs are going to blow up some, activate an exclamation point box there, which allows us to continue over, and now you can see that there is a bottomless pit below us, I believe. So we need to be a bit more precise with our jumps. Yeah, I'm sure there's a life down there, but, you know. We're doing okay for lives. We're already in the 40s, so we won't risk too much for it. So there we go. Lovely. Grab that life. A nice long jump over those. So obviously you're meant to use these bouncy blocks to actually the bouncing blocks to actually get all the crates. Naturally, you do actually need to remember you need to break any of those that are not metal, which is an easy way to, you know, lose one box from a level, which is always going to be a, you know, an absolute pain. I love how all the I think I mentioned it for Air Crash, but I love how all of the death route music and stuff like this is just remixed versions of the main level theme. I think it's really cool. Oh, you're kidding me. Jeez, that was fast. Would love to have my Aku right now, but there we go. We'll let it get angry again and then make our move. Ooh, nearly didn't make that last jump, but there we go. Already we have 78 of the 125 boxes, and this will now take us back down, sort of just above where obviously the that main path would have taken us, the red gem path. So now it's just a matter of don't die until we hit another checkpoint. Which, as always in a Crash game, isn't always the easiest thing in the world. I want those Wumpa fruit. Okay. There we go. Oh, you're kidding me. Ah! Knew I shouldn't have paused there. Because yeah, now we end up back in here. And we don't have an Aku this time. So, the really fast one, we've got to be aware of that. Was it this one that was really fast? Well, no, it was this one that was really fast. And it didn't go really fast that time, so no idea why it went really fast that one time. Jeez. So once more, we'll let the porcupine get all annoyed about us. We'll make the jump. Should probably slide jump there, might be a lot safer. And once more we can try and not die. Nice. How did I get all the way up? There we go. Lovely, there we go, thank goodness. So you can use the slide quite nicely on the ice to sort of get through a lot of the traps. Especially with the icicles. So we start having a lot of sort of icicles falling from the ceiling like those, and if you can slide under them, whereas normally if you were just skating, you wouldn't actually get the speed. Ah, it's an annoying jump. Need a slide jump there, I think. You notice that the slide jump is obviously much higher than a usual standard jump. Ah, come on. I meant to slide there and I didn't. But thankfully, obviously, deaths in the bonus, again, do not count towards loss of lives, loss of anything except for Aku's. Given that we didn't have an Aku when we came into this, it's fine. Oh, there we go. Nice. So one of these boxes, I think that one there used to be really hard to spot from in the original game, and obviously in the original game only Crash 3 actually had a box counter that told you how many were actually in each bonus and in the final level. Like, I mean, Crash 2 actually had it right at the end, so you could see right at the end how many boxes were in the level, but never actually in the level itself. Which always made it rather stressful. But this time, you want to be sort of... Yeah, you want to be skating away from that. If you skate towards it and spin, you'll actually end up sort of... The TNT will sort of land on your head and will actually blow you up. Which is obviously something you don't want to happen. So we've got 15 more boxes as we're going to descend down into the next part of the level, which brings back the Rolling Stones from Crash 1. Lovely. Please don't tell me I've missed one. Nope, I can see the box, the last box ahead of us. There we go, 125 boxes collected. And we can zip to the finish. Lovely. So there we go. Snow Biz done. Another very involved level. These levels are quite long, especially when you have to like, you know, take into account for all of the different secret paths and stuff like that. But that is Snow Biz complete. Really nicely done. We now have our first polar bear level. I love the polar bear levels. I love them to bits. I think they're great. Barrett used to have the hardest of the two gems just because there's a really finicky bit sort of in the middle of the level where it's actually quite difficult because you're on ice and it's difficult to control Polar to try and grab all of the boxes. But the rest of the level is just beautiful. It is an absolutely lovely level. And obviously we have Crash. Gotta give the classic eyebrow. Classic Crash eyebrows to the camera. Oh, these feels really responsive, which is really nice. That's the ice there. So that, just those little boxes there used to be an absolute pain to try and get. Along with any box that's on, look how cute he is! There he is! I love it! Along with any box that's on ice, it is an absolute pain to get just because it's difficult to grab everything. It's always difficult to grab everything in this level in one go. Or at least I always used to find it difficult to grab everything in one go. That was not clever. I love how Crash gets... I love how they've recreated the death animations. That is exactly what we wanted from a sort of a Crash remake. Because one of the main things about the Crash is all the various death animations, which are absolutely hilarious most of the time. There we go, lovely. So we get our next checkpoint. Like there are death animations for Crash tripping over, there's death animations for Crash running straight into one of those big totem faces, being eaten by a killer whale. I saw the killer whale one still there. That was amazing. There we go. Lovely. down here. And then, oh, these boxes used to be a pain in the original, and evidently still are. Because you've got to go so fast, left, right, left. And then you'd always start at this section with these nitros that are never nice to dodge. There we go. So, here we go, and we go left, right, left, lovely. And there we go, that is Bear It. Lovely short little level. Break the nitros, 45 out of 45 boxes. I love the music to the... I mean, I love all the music in the game. I have several of I've actually got several of the... Just the tunes from the original soundtrack on my iPod, and I just, you know, they come on, and they never fail to put a smile on my face. They really never do. But there we go, that is our first polar bear level done. Our next level is Crash Crush, which is a boulder level. So, once more we're going to get chased by the boulder. And once more there's going to be a lot of mines in our path. The electric gates play a much sort of greater role this time. There'll be gates that we have to slide under and get a lot of nice timing with. And much like the end of the first Crash, the first level of this type, you actually need to get far enough ahead of the boulder to actually make some belly flops actually at the end of the level in order to break all the boxes, which can be a bit of a pain. If I remember correctly, there's actually a very short first section where the boulder just falls down there, lovely. And yeah, so they obviously need to introduce the electric gates early on. Those you do need to slide under, which makes them an absolute pain. Did we get a checkpoint? I feel like we did get a checkpoint. If not, we can always get one here. The reason I want a checkpoint is just because there's a little jump here which can be an absolute... can be really, really annoying. So here you've got to... I mean, the Wumpa Fruit sort of suggests doing a slide jump over the electric barrier. I almost always find it easier to do a slide jump under the electric barrier. So slide, get to the edge of the platform, almost like fall down the pit a little bit, and then pick it back up. He seems to take a little while to get up from the slide sometimes. So just got to bear that in mind. So anyway, get a nice boost. Obviously, because we haven't had the bonus yet, we know that there will be a second section here. Or essentially there must be a second section for us to actually, where the boulder is no longer chasing us. Even if you get caught by that, there is some boosts here to help you get away. You're kidding me. Yeah, there just seems to be a little delay after getting up from a slide. Run between the nitros. Nice. There's no particularly mean boosts, if I remember correctly. Like, none of them sort of like take you into a nitro crate. Thankfully. Like, that would be mean. As we hit our bonus. Can't miss the fruit. So satisfying to belly flop a large pile of boxes. Nice and simple. Get a nice large chunk of Wumpa Fruit along with another life, and now we can head back, grab our crystal. I love the effect of the crystal, sort of the light it shines on the surrounding area. That's really nice. Okay, so this is the final chase, and I'm pretty sure this is the one where we really need to get a nice big lead. So they're going to give us a lot of boost pads. You can sort of see the little green lights that lead you towards the boost pads. And there's another one there, and another one there. And all of this is to get you far enough ahead such that you can belly flop this and grab all of those boxes just like that for your 57 out of 57. Crash Crush completed. There we go. Really, really nice. So that leaves us with just the final episode, final level of this warp room, and that is the eel deal, and that is our first sewer level, and I love the sewer theme in this game. It is amazing. One of my favorite pieces of video game music, certainly in this game, and just in general. It's I hope they've done it. I'm sure they've done it justice. But there's been no sign of it, of that not being the case yet. So as it says here, a special gem hides behind something fake. So the special gem here we can get again. Nice. We can actually get the green gem here. And indeed we actually can get the green gem and the clear gem in the same run, which is quite nice. So, this level is full of electric eels who electrify the water, just like that. And I love the little effects that come off the water. Other than that, it's full of fans, full of these sort of cleaner bots that, are a little pain, to be honest. But there we go. We also see a few of these little spiky mouse robot things. They can only be killed by jumping on them. If you spin them, you will hit those spikes, those rather ugly-looking spikes on the level. So there we go. That's our first thing. And now, we do need to follow this little path. And if you're wondering, why on earth is there a room here full of nitro boxes? Well, it turns out that this wall here is completely fake. You can walk straight through it, and doing so will give you access to the green gem. A few smart slide jumps. Staying out of the electrified water. And there it is, the green gem, lovely. So naturally, normally we just need to run all the way back, but because we have the green gem, we can actually just die here, and we'll maintain our green gem, which is really nice. So we still have that green gem. We do not lose it. And thankfully there's an Aku nice and early on in the stage, which I always appreciate. So now all we need to do is just break this one box. I'm pretty I don't remember if breaking the green nitro, because obviously normally a nitro explosion would break that box. I can't remember if the green exclamation point nitro explosion would do so. Lovely. Kind of pointless having that checkpoint there, given that completion of the bonus also gives us a checkpoint. But that isn't. Also, here we have. So we get a huge chunk of all the boxes already, and then the last three are just here. Let's not do anything stupid. Lovely. So the door will open. We can kill the mouse robot. time our run. So now, this time I think we follow the Wumpa Fruit, which takes us to the crystal. Can always be embarrassing when you finish the level, but you don't have the crystal. And then break all the boxes this side, and now what we can do is we can then head around back the other way, which actually takes us to the end of the level. And obviously the large number of nitro crates in this level is probably going to prop up our box count quite significantly. So obviously, key thing, do not fall down. You will not be able to get back before you break these boxes. There we go, and now we can drop down. There is the green crate for destroying all of the nitros. That takes us to 74 of 79. Do 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 do. Just testing how fast Crash can traverse these monkey bars. So we'll grab all the Wumpa Fruit because why the hell not? And those are our final two boxes, which take us to 79 of 79. And then there is the exit here as we jump over these sort of small mines. We get our gems and the crystal all in one fell swoop. The eel deal is 100% complete, aside from the relics, of course. And now we can then look at our second boss battle here, which will be the Komodo Brothers. And indeed, their boss isn't theirs. It's really, really easy in the original game. I wonder if they've tried to make it a little more difficult, or, well, I guess we'll see. We should also, hopefully, maybe we'll see if Cortex will talk to us, or maybe it'll have to be at the end of the next episode, or at the start, once we get to the third warp room. Ah, there we go, we do get Cortex.
10 of 25 crystals. You're on your way. I'm running low on power, so communication from this point will be difficult.
See? See, that sort of distortion there is what we saw, like, what we would have seen in a lot of the previous cutscenes as well, but for some reason they didn't choose to sort of show it in all of them. I think that would just sort of be like a nice little, that would have been a nice little touch. So anyway, the Komodo Brothers is a really, really simple boss. If it is as exactly as it was last time, it will be even simpler. Well, it will still be very, very simple. So, essentially, Komodo Joe will spin around his brother, Komodo Mo, round and round. He'll get dizzy. And then what you need to do is just spin the dizzy brother into his into the other brother. Then Komodo Joe will start throwing knives. Avoid the knives. He will continue to spin after you. He will get dizzy. Spin him in any way possible, and he will always end up hitting his brother. And then he'll start throwing two knives at once, but it's really, really easy to stay ahead of them. Like, really, really easy to stay ahead of them. And then once more, we go around. He'll now start throwing knives during this phase of the battle, but again, as long as you keep moving, he cannot hit you. And again, hit him. Boom. Nice and simple. There we go. Crash once more can be warped to the third warp room. And the third warp room is full of some of my favourite levels. But here we go. So we get Komodo Nomo as our trophy for defeating the second boss of the game. And yeah, so now we have the third warp room. Or we will make our way up to the third warp room right now. And third warp room is sort of like the swamps that we saw in like that we see in like Hang 8, etc.
Good go, Crash. The Komodo Brothers obviously lacked your mettle. But now's not the time to get cocky. There are still many crystals to obtain. Remember, the world is counting on you.
So there we go, that is going to be it for this episode. In the next episode, we'll be taking on the rest, well, World Warp from 3. We have Plant Food, Sewer or Later, Bear Down, Road to Ruin, and Unbearable. So I love the Ruin levels, so Road to Ruin especially I'm looking forward to. Obviously the second Polar Bear level, and another Sewer level, another Swamp level, and, well, technically another Polar Bear level, another Chase level. It's going to be great. So, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of my walkthrough of Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. And I hope you will join me on the next episode.